Why have I not arrived again? Hello and welcome to Sean Morley's normal game. Zip up your loved ones and prepare to be sloshed. Sean Normie Morley game has arrived to judge the living and the dead. You have tuned into Earth's final quiz show, wherein contestants are permitted and encouraged to rearrange and reconstruct the game itself in the blood-red quest for championhood. I, Sean Morley, am custodian of the rules. My job is merely to ask questions and interpret to the best of my ability amicable solutions to the dozens of unique problems created every Wednesday. But there are limits to my wisdom, but none for my compassion. I have scoured the quietest houses looking for its normalest residents. Breathe deep. Now your mouth is full of germs. It's time to play Sean Morley's normal game. Good evening and hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sean Morley's normal game has returned, and it is quietly stronger and loudly more confusing. Is everyone well? Please can you put into the chat in all lowercase followed by a full stop, I am well, if you are well. And if you are not well, please can you put in all capitals with no punctuation, I am not well. That way I know who to keep an eye on and who I can sit back reassured in the knowledge that they're fine. Okay, so who's well? A Good Pete is well. Calibrated Vision is well. Martine is well. Mighty Fighty is unwell. Scotland the Brave is well. Harry Hardy is unwell. Maggie FBK is well. B&M Bandit is not well. Bread Santa is well. Okay, good to see that the wells slightly outnumber the not wells. If a small portion of the wells can just maybe nurse the not wells, then maybe we'll end up all well by the end of the evening. Or, a bit like the end of the Italian job, just the clump of not wells will send us all into rude health means well, doesn't it? Into ill health, into poor health, into failing bodies by the end of the evening. And I look forward to finding out which in real time. We're going to be playing Sean Morley's normal game, and if you have not played before, do not worry, because we cover the entire set of rules every single time. Let us begin the tutorial. Okay, so Sean Morley's normal game, it's pretty straightforward, and then as the show begins, it begins to veer off of its axis. The basic rules is simple. It's a quiz show. You answer questions correctly and you get points, and you can exchange those points to change the very rules of the game. Hopefully you can use that to your advantage and create a new game that you are better at than your opponent. And the player who still has the most points at the end of the game is declared the normal winner. And so to aid this, there are two phases to the game. A question phase, where the questions are asked, questions are answered and points are awarded, and then a rules phase that sits in between them, where contestants, starting with the contestant with the lowest score, can exchange their points and make new rules. There are some restrictions on the rules if people are wondering how far this can be taken, but currently there are only two restrictions, and I don't think they're too restrictive. Number one, rules may not explicitly impact a single player, so you can't simply say I get all the points every time someone gets it right, when you can't say contestant number 2 doesn't get any points regardless of what they answer. You would have to make a rule that affects all contestants equally. And you cannot use your rule to simply abolish an element of the show. You can change it beyond recognition, but you cannot say no more points, no more rounds, no more show. You can only change things significantly or otherwise. But ultimately, I'm the host, and run things past me and we'll see what I think should be allowed. There can only be 3 rules that are made at any one time. It's not going to be one big list of rules to memorize. So there's 3 rule slots, and when a new rule is going to be created by one of the contestants, it has to overwrite an existing one. So we're only ever dealing with 3 rules at a time. And as for what that exchange rate is, players first spend 1 of their points for a rule, but for their second rule they spend 2 points, and so on and so on. That's on a player by player basis. So if you've only bought 1 rule and your second rule is 2 points, but your opponent has only bought their first rule is still only going to cost 1 point for them. You can go into debt. That precedent has been established early on in this series. If you have 1 point but you need to spend 2 points to get a rule, you can get a -1. That's fine. If you're confident this will help dig you out of debt, then so be it. So what are the questions going to be about? I'm not in charge of what the questions are about. You all are. If you're a subscriber, you can type !topic to add a topic to a virtual tombola that I will regularly draw topics out of. And then I will feed them into Bing's AI. I do not like or trust Bing's AI, and that's how I cannot tyrannically control the show. Bing, powered by ChatGPT, is an hallucinatory virtual ill brain, and it will not always correctly interpret questions and cannot reliably give correct answers. But about 80% of the time it can skim off the topsoil of the internet general knowledge with some reliability. But there will be a question to be asked the contestants: should Bing be the arbiter of truth and therefore points, or should it be reality itself? And of course the third contestant is the chat. They will be competing for their own chance at victory, and they have 4 possible routes for the complicated matter of extracting singular answers from a collection of usernames. There is, at number 1, democratic representative, whereby chat can just vote for one of their own to speak on their collective behalf. Number 2, there is random champion, which is more or less the same, except it's chosen randomly rather than by democracy. There's infinite referendum, where chat gains the tools to run and manage their own polls. And there is collective joy, aka spoilt broth, where chat must author their answer collectively 1 character at a time. Spoilt broth tends to be more chaotic and less capable of creating any kind of coherent response, but it is also a fan favourite. If you want to donate, you can donate to cheer or condemn individual players, to provide encouragement or discouragement where you think it should be. And there is a special additional 4th rule slot called the Rule Auction. If anyone wants to donate to add a rule, they may do so, but subsequent rules which would overwrite this rule need to pay more Earth currency than the previous one. So if someone donates £1 to add the rule, all preceding questions, all subsequent questions need to be about kittens, and you despise kittens and you want them to be about earthworms, you would need to pay a grand total of £1 and 1 penny. You can type donate or !normal tip in the chat to see how to influence tonight's proceedings. And the winner is the person at the end of the game who has the most points, unless, of course, a rule has been added which changes the victory conditions, which I know happens with a surprising frequency. The winner will advance to the next bracket of the tournament. They are given a brief platform to speak about anything they wish, if they wish to, and they may create a rule which will be active at the beginning of next week's Sean Morley's normal game. That is the game. That's all you need to know. And if all of that has gone into your brain, then you are equipped to play. And with that in mind, let us say hello to contestant number 1. Good evening, Katie. Welcome to Sean Morley's Normal Game.
Thank you.
How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, not too bad.
Is there a particular strategy that you're going to be bringing to the table tonight?
Sheer chaos. I mean, it started with signing up for a completely different game and ending up on this one anyway by accident, so, you know.
Yeah, just to add a bit more, just to flesh that out a bit. Katie signed up to this believing it was King of Time's secret word game, a very good rival game show run by community friend and channel mod King of Time. However, you are here now, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Indeed. I found out yesterday that this was not the game I thought it was, and it was a bit late to do anything about it.
Well, you know, maybe you could slowly use your rules to turn it into King of Time's secret word game. I think King of Time might not like that, but what can I do? I just have to do the rules as they appear. Katie, to set your mind and soul at ease, would you be up for participating in a bit of crowdsourced small talk?
Is this as bad as normal small talk?
It's worse. It might be about wet denim.
Go on then, since I'm here.
So, chat have a different little tombola that they can put suggested small talk topics or questions in, and we'll pull one out now. How do you feel about when people put Halloween candy directly into the bin?
That's sad. Why haven't they just given it to me?
Maybe they don't know you.
They should.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. Maybe you need to get your face out more in the community. Maybe a poster campaign with the subheading, "Give me your sweets."
Yeah. I might get on that. Although possibly not around where I live. That might result in me getting arrested. By getting given things that are not just sweets.
Ah, okay. So people think maybe you're soliciting to buy drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And have chosen to do so via
a poster campaign.
A poster campaign, yeah.
Maybe if I decorated it with like little pieces of candy corn and things.
Now, I don't know the exact wording of the law, but if someone just gives you drugs, you're not liable for that, are you? If someone just puts drugs, like pushes it, like otherwise you could just push drugs through someone's letterbox and then they get arrested.
You mean like those Amazon scams where somebody posts something to you to, which I still don't really understand those Amazon scams.
I don't know what Amazon scams you're talking about.
So basically, there's this scam that people will post something to you that you have not bought, and my understanding is that they are trying to get reviews for the product. Oh wait, no, I think it's coming back to me now. Yes, right. So they post things to you, and then they leave a fake review for the item because they've sent it to you as a gift. And they give it a 5-star review so that it appears like really high up in the search listings.
Oh, so the actual, like the person who wants the product to do well on the marketplace just sends them to random addresses?
And then reviews the product.
This is like what a lot of brands do with YouTubers and influencers, right? They just send them the gift with the implicit knowledge that they'll get a 5-star review because that person's getting free stuff. But this way you cut out the influencer and then just random addresses get what, like a lawnmower or a hair curler?
Yeah, I got a book once.
Yeah, was it any good?
A very good book.
No, what was it about?
I can't remember. It was some kind of crime thriller or something. But it was like the third one in a series, and I read it because it's a book and I like books.
And it just turned up.
And it just turned up. But
Could
it was
have a clue.
terrible.
That's a shame. Well, I hope that your campaign to get more sweets from the community turns out better.
Could just put these posters up around the office at work.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, or local library or church. Okay, well, with your fate sealed, let us turn our attentions towards contestant number 2. Welcome, Dell.
Hi, Sean. Hi, Katie.
How are you?
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, things considered.
I've had to crop
Excited.
your webcam just to make it square and fit better. But unfortunately, this means we can't see your very carefully placed 2 oranges. Would you be willing to show us all your 2 oranges?
Yes, absolutely. Said oranges. I think I should do that. I think that seems appropriate. It feels like a waste not to do that. Always does.
Yeah. Do you have a marker pen to add 2 pupils to them?
I think I do, yeah.
Oh.
So, I've got a lot of fine point pens. You might have to just give me a second. Yeah, this could work. Hang on.
There was such a missed opportunity for comedy there. I could have passed it through the screen to you.
Sorry.
It would have relied on him to have actually found a real one at that exact moment. Because I think when he began setting up the physical joke, he didn't know where it was.
I feel like this might not quite be as satisfying as it might have been, but
no, I quite like it. Yeah,
the look is really completed with a banana as well. If you can kind of hold a banana at the same time to operate as the mouth.
Yeah, do you have one?
I do. This
Okay,
isn't how I thought this would go.
No, me either. But here we are.
Okay. So something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. And does this character have a name?
It's a good question. I think it would cheapen the character to name.
Do you think so?
I think so. I think it's like a timeless thing. I feel like people throughout the ages would have been inhabiting this character. So I don't feel like I'm worthy to name them.
Katie, do you think it should have a name?
Depends whether he's going to acknowledge my brilliant pun or not.
Now might be time to acknowledge the brilliant pun.
That was a brilliant pun. That was really, really, really brilliant pun, that.
I was just so disappointed. It just went completely flat. I was like...
I'm sorry. I'm so distracted.
On command, and then when I am, nobody even notices.
I'm so sorry. I was just so entranced by manipulating the fruit.
To be honest, I have to say this is quite good because normally when the 2 contestants are introduced, they put a lot of effort into creating some kind of harmony. But now this enmity makes it feel more like a boxing match, and I think that's going to really spur the sport of normal game forward. The drive not only to win but to defeat.
The fruit feud has been initiated.
But maybe in the hopes of calming us all down a little bit, would you be willing to participate in some crowdsourced small talk?
Oh, I'd really like that, yeah.
It's of variable quality. Are we honking?
Oh, we're honking.
Yeah,
we are honking. We really are honking. I was debating whether I'm... Oh, sorry.
I was going to ask, could you give us a honk?
Honk, honk.
That's pretty good.
Oh, sorry, you just asked for one. Sorry.
No. I appreciate they sometimes come in twos. Sometimes that feels correct.
It did. It really did.
Katie, what do you think? Are we honking?
Yeah, that was definitely a good honk. I'm just sad that my goose is on the other side of the rim.
You have a goose?
Mm-hmm. It's not quite as comedically large as the goose that I brought home from Krakow that was seen in photos with Josie, that was over a metre tall.
Where's that goose now? The comedically large goose?
That is at my partner's house. I could ask him to bring it. I think he's on his way.
Well, I don't want to put anyone at any inconvenience. No one needs to start ferrying a large goose around for my benefit.
I mean, he's driving. It has previously been in the front seat of his car, belted in, and just left there in the hospital car park all day.
Yeah. I say request the goose.
I am on it.
Thank you so much.
Would you like to see the small goose?
Yes. And that will get us even more excited for the big goose. Any geese to compete with, Dell?
I don't. There's a real palpable lack of geese in this room.
Oh, it's palpable. I've never palpated a lack of geese.
I don't really. I'm not really wanting to dwell on it. But if truth be told,
so this nearly got very embarrassing. I nearly accidentally brought the panda.
That would have caused some confusion.
Fuck.
Oh, that's very nice.
This is literally what happens when you try and order a meter tall goose on Wish.
And this is definitely a goose. It's definitely not a gull.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Is it maybe a gosling?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of chances this could be anything. Does the goose have a name?
Creatures around me now.
Does the goose have a name or a title?
This one doesn't.
That's fair.
I haven't got around to naming it yet.
These things come. They have to happen organically.
The big one's called Polly.
That's a good goose name. That's kind of a classic kind of goose name. And last but not least, of course, the third contestant is chat. And with everyone here, we do have the holdover rule from the week before last, submitted by the combined team of Rosanna and Josie Hypatia, which is that all answers need to be the correct answer to the previous question to count for points. Katie and Dell, do you follow this concept? I know there was some consternation about it before.
I'm not confident that I'm going to be able to score points with it in play, but I think I'm understanding it. I was a bit worried that the first answer might have to be the last answer from the previous game, the previous normal game. But apart from that, I'm up for it.
Okay. And Katie, are you fine with this? Is this wording good for you?
I don't get it. It's not making sense to my brain. Because how do I answer a question correctly in order to get points for it, whilst also meeting this rule?
Maybe what's throwing you is the use of the word correct, whereas what it's really saying is what you will receive points for. So players receive points only for answering the previous question correctly. Is that wording making sense? And then you're not having to have the confusion about the word correct. It's just about what you get the points for.
Nope, still lost.
You understand the spirit of what this rule is trying to say, right? Is that you just have to remember the last...
Possible.
What, for the human mind?
Well, no, just my mind.
You'd have to maybe write down just the previous question, and then you could look at it.
The thing that's throwing me, I think, is that... Because even with this wording, you get the points retrospectively.
No, you get the point then and there.
I think the only way I'm going to figure this out is to see it in action.
Just for example, if question 1 was, what do you call a juvenile cat? And then question 2 is, what do you call a juvenile dog? I will give you a point if you say kitten.
Yes.
And that's what this rule 1 is supposed to describe.
Okay. I think I'm making sense now. So basically just the only one that we can't get any points in is question 1.
Yeah, and I think perhaps we need a sacrificial question for that. In fact, it doesn't even need an answer, does it? It doesn't even need an answer. So I will... So before we begin, we'll just roll a sacrificial question that no one need answer, and then we'll begin round 1. Yeah, question 0, exactly. But before we begin, there are 2 pieces of deliberation. Chat needs to determine their voting method, and among the contestants, what do you think should be the arbiter of truth and therefore points tonight? Should it be Bing? Bing is going to be generating our questions and answers. Or should it be reality, given Bing's propensity for being massively wrong?
I have a slight preference for maybe the truth, as it hasn't been done, but then appreciate that's a little less practical. So I'm willing to be persuaded. I've got a very, very slight preference, very, very slight preference for truth.
Okay. Dell's voting for reality. Katie, do you have a preference?
I mean, I did say I was bringing chaos to the game.
Mm-hmm. And I welcome it.
Spoilt broth.
Oh, no, between Bing being the arbiter or reality being the arbiter.
Oh, right.
Chat's voting for amongst themselves.
Yeah, sorry, I just zoned for a second. No, yeah, let's go with truth. So truth is the yeah, let's just go with truth.
Okay. If there is an additional little rule I like to bring out if players choose truth, which they often don't, which is we will start with Bing's answer, and if you want to challenge it because you think your answer is correct, you have a chance to earn more points if Bing is wrong and you are correct. Does that make sense? Do you follow that?
Think so.
I do, yeah.
Great. So we'll still work off of Bing, but if you go, that's wrong, and you want to put in a challenge, you could earn more points than you would have done otherwise.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay, great. And chat's decision is almost through. Ooh, quite a lot of votes for Democratic representative.
Ooh. Is that? I don't think that's ever happened before, has it?
It's inconclusive. I'm going to have to do it again because I cannot. We just do a runoff. It should now be ready to begin the poll again. Okay.
Poll open.
I'm gonna have to run that again because I need one answer to come out. And amongst the contestants, which of these do you think would be most advantageous for yourselves?
Spoiled broth. I'd quite like to be playing against chat doing spoiled broth.
But,
Yes.
I mean, I don't care about advantageous. I think entertaining spoilt broth.
Actually, although having said that, the infinite referendum, I like the way that kind of gives you a few things to think about as well.
Infinite referendum does have a tendency to help the webcam players answer because you see almost every possibility in there. It's hard to tell given the yellow colour scheme that the voting bar chart works against, but I think Democratic representative is healthily in the lead here.
Would this be a first?
Yes, it would. It would be a first having anything other than infinite referendum and spoilt broth. In fact, I don't even remember my plans for how to hold this election. We had a random champion before? Oh yeah, early days we had a random champion, yeah. It was Oracle, perhaps? I do think a well-chosen Democratic representative is almost certainly the best choice for chats maximising their chance of winning. But a random champion could be worse than spoiled broth. Especially if it's some just lurker who says hello for the first time and then leaves the stream because it's confusing. Okay, Democratic representative. Okay. If you want to run for office, type !me, and that will add you to a shortlist. Yeah, it all kind of falls down if no one actually wants to be it. Does anyone want to... Okay, you all want to have a Democratic representative, but no one wants to be it.
Like real life politics, then.
Katie and Dell, this might be your chance to type !me in the chat. Okay, there's only one person running. Although, actually, should I allow it that someone could be nominated and not want to be the representative themselves? Should I allow that? What do you think?
Reminds me a bit. Isn't that what happened with Jeremy Corbyn? He didn't really want to do it, but...
That's true, yeah. And he almost turned around the worst country in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of the ideal to have someone who feels uncomfortable with the power. And...
Wow, no, because he didn't win, did he? Because he wasn't willing to be evil. Okay, so who's being nominated? Bread Santa is being nominated quite a lot. Pete only got one nomination, so I'm going to ignore it for now. Mighty, only one, that's not enough. Yeah, at the moment, it's Dell who's asked for it, and Bread Santa who hasn't, so we'll just run this poll now. Poll, 1 minute, who represents you? 1, Dell, 2, Bread Santa.
Poll open.
I'm voting 2.
I would be a very fair representative, I think, if that influences the decision.
Don't think they'll believe you on this, will they?
I respect that.
That was very reasonable. You've got my vote. Okay, Bread Santa, how are you feeling? Are you preparing a victory speech? All you've said so far is, oh no, and please vote Dal, so I don't think... And now you've just said fuck.
I'm disappointed my attempt at vote nominating the goose didn't work.
Only got one nom, I'm afraid. Had to draw a cut off somewhere.
Poll.
Okay, congratulations, Bread Santa.
Winner is this.
Okay, spotlight, Bread Santa. Bread Santa will be represented by this little mole. And we'll go there for questions when we need chat's answer. Which means I should move up the rule auction a little bit. You like the mole? Well, congratulations. You are the mole now. Okay, so we're away. Reality is the arbiter. Chat answers via Bread Santa. And let's pull a topic that will be question 0. No one need answer it now. Okay, what plus the novelist Harry Hardy? Is there a novelist called Harry Hardy? Is there such a person? It's gotten confused, I think.
Statistically, there probably is a novelist called Harry Hardy, I reckon.
You'd think so. Bing has become confused. So the question number 1 is... Question... on what day does the first term at Hogwarts start? Okay, clear that now. that question's considered complete. And now we will start our first round. It will be an all play, so we will pull out a topic, we will get Bing to generate a question, and whoever gets closest gets the point. And we'll do that 3 times for the first round. And so our topic for our question number 1 will be Hal plus Uranus. Does this work in anyone's favour? Anyone clued up on the planets?
Not to the extent that I feel confident enough to state that. You know, I feel like I've got some very, very, very basic planet knowledge, but
okay, so we'll see if anyone has got this. I'm looking for an answer for all contestants, and the closest to the truth wins. By how many degrees is Uranus tilted on its axis?
can I go ahead and answer?
Of course.
My answer is the 30th of September.
Okay, your answer is the 30th of September. Okay, so I have answers from Dell and chat. Katie, do you have an answer?
I thought it was the 1st of September.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
It is indeed the 1st of September, so that is points for Katie and chat. Let me just do that now. Okay, that was our first one. Next topic. This is even difficult on me because I need to keep 2 sets of questions and answers going as well. Okay, when plus the ABCs. I'm not sure how it's going to interpret the ABCs. I hope it's not an acronym for some chemical. Okay, these are primary school age questions, which I suppose is when you refer to the alphabet as the ABCs. Okay, so the next question is... when is the letter W pronounced as W? Feel free to buzz in when you have it.
Can I go for 120 degrees, please?
Mm-hmm. Katie?
I'm going to go for 100 degrees.
This is very smart, for even though the answer is 98 degrees, Uranus has an axial tilt of 98 degrees. Remarkably, its axis is nearly parallel to the ecliptic, causing it to appear as if it has fallen over on its side. One citation leads to a dead link. So that means that once again, Katie and Chat are closest and will receive a point. And we move on to our final topic and question combo of round number 1. And our fourth topic for our third question is who plus things you can't say. I don't know why those semicolons keep getting added to the randomizer. These are good. I'm just going to pick the one that I found funniest. So our fourth question for our third round is: who dares to mention the cursed name of the ancient artifact? I have an answer for it here. I don't know if it's correct, of course.
Oddly, I feel like I might know that. I was going to hold my answer back just because you guys have been giving correct answers so far, so I thought I might.
Mighty and Funky are possibly
an
suggesting an answer,
answer.
but yeah.
I think I have an answer.
Mhm.
I don't know for definite, but I think it might be when when it is Welsh.
When
So,
it
for example, the word CWTCH is pronounced Kutch.
E.g.
I wonder if Bread Santa's right, but I'm going to go for like this is probably going to be a pretty stupid answer, I think. But when kids reach like grade school, if that's even the right level, I don't know. But I'm thinking it might be like, you know how you start saying W as "wa." It might be the point where you learn your ABCs and then you go to the proper pronunciation, or maybe that's just an English thing.
Thank you for the subscription, Buzz Josie. Welcome to Normal Game. So, to the question, who dares to mention the cursed name of the ancient artifact? Katie has responded when it is Welsh. Dell has answered in grade school, and Chat has answered in a domain name. The answer that I was looking for is when you say the name of the letter.
Yeah.
And I would say, just interpreting the answers here, Katie, when it is Welsh, in Welsh they don't say W, they say W, right?
I was just trying to go with the pronunciation of like a W, and it's pronounced as an U at least in that word.
Oh yeah, but we're looking for the pronunciation W. What do you mean by in grade school, Dal?
I was basically trying to get across. It's the point where kids who learning their ABCs would then start with the A, B, K, D, E, F, G system, and then of pronunciation, and then move to the full one. So, and then I was just guessing a point in which that would happen. So it's like you're in. I mean, grade school's probably like loads older than that. I'm not sure, but that was what I was trying to go for.
I understand what you're trying to go for. I think I'm not going to allocate a point to that because I think when you hear the real answer, it's very clear and obvious.
I can't dispute that. With the benefit of hindsight, I think I would have changed my answer. Yeah.
However, even though Bread Santa's saying they feel great shame, I'm going to give chat a point because www is when you're saying the names of the letters. Right?
In hindsight, I could now have also just picked any time or any example of a time in which you say the letter W.
Yeah, pretty much.
Katie and overthinking strikes again.
Who knew? Yeah, who knew?
It was a strangely and unexpectedly complicated question. Also one of those that when you hear the answer, it suddenly seems retroactively obvious. Okay, so that's a point for chat. And that is the end of round number 1. And we move on to our first rules round. So starting with the person with the least points, Dal, would you like to add a rule? It will cost you 1 point, putting you into -1 point.
Yeah, a lot of my strategy was predicated on racking up big points in the first round and then instituting project victory. But I think I'm going to have to rethink this, and I'm going to go for. I think I will institute a rule because I need to get some momentum back, or some momentum, and I'm going to say that any points won must be deducted by.
Hang on, what slots is going in?
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'll put that in slot 2. Slot 2, please.
Okay. Any points won
will be deducted from an opponent, and which opponent is dictated by a coin toss.
Oh, okay.
Thinking that might help me steal back some points.
Well, it also might have points taken away from you.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay. as long as you appreciate that.
Yeah.
Great. You have bought a rule. That puts you in -1, and your next rule will cost 2. Katie, as the owner and operator of 2 points, would you like to make a rule?
I would. It's taken some time to get the wording quite right, I think. And yes, as discussed prior to the game, we all know exactly how this is going to end for you. But my wording is, should, during tonight's game, a player be video bombed by any other creature, that player receives one additional point.
Do you mind if I try and make that a little bit more succinct for the sake of screen real estate? So I'll say players receive a point for being video bombed by a creature, or should I say living creature? What's the adjective here?
I mean, creature is less real estate, isn't it? And also, allows for more comedy.
Or sheer complexity. Am I okay to put that in the empty rule slot number 3?
Yep.
Okay, players receive a point for being video bombed by a creature. So someone's just put a fish. A fish just splashed up. Two fish have just splashed up here. So we've just.
Is that not animated gift bombed?
But it's a. I asked if you wanted living creature, right? But a fish is a creature, right? Even.
Being video bombed here.
Well, that's the thing. We're all being video bombed by it.
You have your own points set up yet? This is not how I thought it was going to go.
Hang on, let me just. Hang on, hold
I
fire.
thought you were
everyone.
right, and you would just get DMs with videos of pets. I did not think I was going to get hit in the face by a fish in a mug tree.
Well, now Mugtree isn't going to do anything for the points, I think. So let me just do a little bit of behind the scenes to help this along. Because you're right, we are all. This is a creature, right? And so its appearance.
What was that?
That was a fish. It's going to be mostly fish. So I believe that what you wanted from this was that when your cat comes into view, you have an opportunity to get a point, right?
Well, not just me. Anyone who happens to have a cat
Sure.
gets points, but they have to prove it.
Okay, I'm just going to say fish to check this works.
Fish.
Yeah, okay, whenever someone says fish, every player automatically receives a point.
Fish.
Yeah. I think that's working.
Fish.
Yeah.
I've lost the goose, but
Fish.
Okay, well,
Fish.
what were you trying to do, Sean?
what do you mean?
Because the fish just seem to be sticking around now rather than...
There's always been an issue with the animation, which if two people say fish within 0.6 seconds of each other, the first fish doesn't leave the screen until that fish is pulled by a subsequent animation. So that's Katie's rule. Chat with 19 points. Do you want to make a rule? Let me just. I've automated this question for them.
Wait, how did the points just go up like that? Ah.
Oh, if you look at rule number 3, players receive a point for being video bombed by a creature.
Yes.
Oh no. I forgot about rule 2. So players have received quite a lot of points, but now they need to be deducted from opponents either side of them chosen by a coin toss. And so in total, I think players have all received 21 points because Dell was on 22 points. So we're going to have to go through everyone and they're going to have... Okay, so for Katie, you've received 22 points. And we're going to do a coin toss to determine if those 22 points are removed from Dell or from chat.
It's high risk. High risk.
I mean, it was your rule, so I'm just going to set. I'm going to set up a
just-
digital coin.
Fish.
Yeah, it's just really hit home how high risk this is.
Fish.
It's prepared in theory.
Okay,
My
so we'll
beer
roll.
isn't- I've just gained more points for picking up beer. What?
No, it's always for the fish.
Oh, right.
It's always for the
okay,
fish.
Yep, I get it now.
So
Now I understand what you were doing with it. Yep, okay.
Fish.
oh, Pete, for the sake of not getting a headache, I'm only counting it as like point-worthy questions. Okay. Okay, so I'm rolling a coin here. Head for Dell, tails for chat. Okay, that's tails for chat. So I might do it that for
Now there's another 6 points. Because there's been 6 more fish since you started.
You're right. Okay. Would people accept the following? I can set it up so that whenever Katie gets a point, chat automatically loses a point. Yeah, and I create that connection forevermore. Does that sound okay? Okay, so
Sounds good to me.
okay, so I'm going to set that up now. Okay, so let's just check that works. Chat should receive and then lose a point.
Fish.
Yes, so they're on 29.
Fish.
But everyone else grows. Okay, great. And so for Dell, we'll also random a coin. Head for Katie, tails for chat. God, it got complicated fast, didn't it? Do you remember this was a quiz show? It's chat again. I'm very sorry that this has happened to you.
Sorry, chat.
What's down here?
Okay, and then for chat, heads for Katie, tails for Dell, random coin.
Bob forgot to bring the goose.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm trying to find
Fish.
the goose with the goose.
I'll just do that coin again. Didn't understand fish. Okay, heads for Katie, tails for Dell. Sorry, Dell.
Nearly came up a treat that strategy then.
I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but a very large goose.
Oh, nice. That is a very big goose.
It wasn't even the biggest available goose.
Okay, so let's test if this works. When we say fish, chat should lose a point. Dale stays the same and Katie gets a point. So Katie, it really is in your best interest just to say fish into the chat as many times as possible.
Why me specifically?
Because you're the only person who's advantaged by people saying fish.
Oh, okay.
You gain a point. Dale stays the same and chat loses a point. Let's check.
When I get it sitting in front of me.
It doesn't affect this, but it's very nice to see. So I'm going to say fish, and you should have 32, and then Dell should have 27, and chat should have 28.
Fish.
Yeah, great. Oh, and you've been video bombed as well just now, were you?
Yep.
Which means you'll get a point, and then chat will lose a point. Great. Sorry, chat, I was about to ask, do you want a new rule? Did I do that? Did I ask chat that? That got lost. Did I ask chat if you were not confused about the fish? I don't know if I did.
Poll open.
Chat, do you want a rule? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Given how things are set up, chat, you very much might want to change some of the rules because currently, if anyone says the word fish, you lose 2 points. Oh, I see the tails come back. That's a point for Katie, and therefore -1 point for chat.
Maybe that's distracting chat as well, because it is very distracting in the best possible way.
We've racked up quite a lot of points here. Oh, there we go, fish.
I'm actually trying
Interesting interactions between rules 2 and 3. Cat still says 27 though.
Closed.
Yeah, why is that?
Winner. Fish.
Yeah, why is that?
Just a photo bombing of video bombing even from this creature. Does that maybe earn me points?
Yeah. Let me just pop a point in 1 second.
Thank you.
Yep, just going to add a point in. Okay, chat's points weren't counting down correctly, but I've now fixed it in the code, so now they will. So watch out, chat. So chat is wanting a new rule. Great. So what rule do you want? And I'm asking that to Bread Santa.
Fish. Fish.
Can I just say, Kate, you're doing exceptionally well. The scores are really coming up your way. Chat is not doing well. Bread Santa, you've just said the word fish. What rule would you like? Oh, you've just been video bombed. I see there's a big... That was for Dell. Oh, Dell's just been video bombed.
My pet palace cat is can't make its mind up.
Oh, just been video bombed. And Kate has just been video bombed.
Okay.
I've completely lost the goose. I've absolutely no idea where the goose has gone. It was sat on my shoulders and it's just disappeared.
Oh, just been video bombed. Yep, just been video bombed.
How many evidence messages from the chat with pets have you got so far, Sean?
Well, it has to be video bombed, right? They can't just textually describe a pet. Dell's really raking it in here.
Videos of their cats.
And there's also an owl.
Yeah, no one has sent a video of a cat.
But
I'm just having it thrown at me.
Oh, video bombed. Hang on. There's a lot going on here. Oh, yep, the cat's back.
Fish.
Bread, what's the rule?
Fish.
Bread, you've got 2 minutes to tell me your rule.
Fish.
Slot 3. Players with positive point totals cannot create rules. Okay. Is that allowed? Yeah, it doesn't single out a player by name, just describes... Okay, players with positive points
Fish.
can't create rules.
Fish. Fish. Fish.
Is that legal? There's nothing in the rules against it.
Fish.
Okay, and now no one gets anything for video bombing animals. That's been overwritten.
Oh no.
Honestly, it's for the best, isn't it? So, currently, the way things stand is that the new rule 3 is that players with positive points cannot create rules. Which means neither of you are able to create rules. The only person who can is chat, but chat is on -8. So they're not going to be able to catch up, realistically.
Unless they go into debt to do so.
Oh, yeah, and they already are in debt. So, I mean, it's just another...
Further into debt.
Yeah. Okay. Round number 2, back to the questions. We are reintroducing the normal game bingo card, where topics will be displayed on a bingo grid on the center of the screen, and players starting with our leader, Katie, who is head and shoulders above the competition. Well, this needs to be in front of the contestant score text. These topics have all been generated by the chat at different times. Sorry for the if it's awkward to read, but starting from the top left is Trendy Trek, Count the following number of semicolons. Big Goose, Abjection, Post-Feminism, and the Makeover and Miscongeniality, released in the year 2000. Crimes, Condiments, The Diddly Squonks, Twitch Terms of Service, Curling, Kaiju, Peelings of Mayonnaise, Spellings of Mayonnaise, Paul Bearer, Oh Handbag, World's Strongest Man 1997, Johnny Vaughan's Space Cadets, the early the early noughties dating game show hosted by Chris Tarrant, Man Oh Man, Michael Owen quotes, What a Dog Is, Undefined, Adam Curtis's Favourite Snacks, Pseudoscience, Alchemy, Ontology, or The Mouth of Sauron.
I've got to choose the Big Goose.
The Big Goose. No problem. I will generate your question now based on The Big Goose.
Hello.
A good Pete, is that because you were the person who added those topics? Okay. Your question is... This is just to Katie. When is the best time to visit the Big Goose?
I can no longer remember what the previous question was. It was something about a cursed artifact, so I'm going to go with the British Museum.
I'm afraid the answer I have here is only Professor Harrington, the archaeologist, dares to speak of it. Are you satisfied with that answer?
Sure. Leave me alone.
And then we
You're
move
not
on.
funny anymore. You don't get me points. Well, you're still funny. You just don't get me points.
Dell, what topic are you choosing?
I think I'm going to go dead centre. I can't resist Paul Bearer.
Very understandable.
An irresistible man in many ways.
Okay. Here are 10 medium quiz questions. I will pick one of these. What is the real name of the legendary WWE manager, Paul Bearer?
Is the answer weekends?
I'm afraid it's the spring because the weather is pleasant and the animals are active.
That's a good time to see a big goose. It is.
That is the best time to see the
it
big
is.
goose.
I just need to take a breath before I answer and just think about it a bit more.
Brent Santa, what would you like for chat's topic? Kaiju. Okay, absolutely no problem. So, Brad Santa, your question is... That one's too easy. That one's... Yeah, this one's not too bad. Your question is... Who was Godzilla's first opponent? It is indeed William Moody. Congratulations to chat. You are hoying yourself out of obscurity, but you do have a mountain to climb. We go back round to Katie. Which of these topics takes your fancy?
Condiments.
No problem.
Get off my bit of paper.
Katie, your question is, what were the last names of the two 19th century pharmacists that created Worcester sauce?
Angyrus.
That is correct. Godzilla's first opponent was Angyrus.
Hello. Yes, I love you too.
That means we have a correct answer now for condiments, I think. So condiments cannot be chosen again. If any player manages to get a bingo line all the way through, they get an additional 5 points, which, when I designed this, seems like a lot, but now that fish has happened, it feels pointless. Dell,
And how are we
which of these?
defining a player getting it all the way through? Do I get condiments, or does...
Yeah,
given that I'm
condiments
not
has gone to
answering
you.
the
Yeah,
condiments question?
yeah. You answered condiments just now. The answer to the condiments question was Godzilla's first opponent was Angyrus.
Cool. There. Eat that. It can make your breath smell better.
No, Josie, Kaiju has not been crossed off. The topic that was chosen was condiments. The answer was correct, and so a cross goes through condiments. I don't understand the confusion. Dell, which of these topics takes your fancy?
I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to choose the diddly squonks, please.
Diddly squonks, no problem. You can always be that guy. No, chat is right. They did get the Paul Bearer question, though. So Kaiju is also off. Yeah, you're right. So Kaiju is here, and we'll do blue crosses for chat. Okay, diddly squonks. Do you know what diddly squonks refers to?
I have no idea, and that was part of the appeal of picking it, I think.
You're
I
scared
like-
it's very rude.
Oh, okay. I'm still happy to go ahead.
Yeah, even if it turns out to be a sex act.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
More's the better.
I think it's struggling to know what I'm asking about. Oh no, here we go. Yes, certainly, let's dive into the fascinating world of diddly squonks. Here are 10 medium difficulty quiz questions along with their answers. Okay. Okay, can anyone tell me, are the diddly squonks a real thing? Or is it just a words that people wrote for fun?
I am not a corn on the cob. Go away.
Okay, Dal, your question is, which mythical forest is said to be the natural habitat of diddly squonks?
Ah, okay. My answer is Liam Perrins.
That is correct. It is indeed Liam Perrins. And so that crosses off the diddly squonks, cutting off some opportunities for Katie, as your crosses are all clustered together quite a lot there. But yes, it was Liam Perrins. Brent Santa, what... Oh, I should bring the topics back up. What topics take your fancy? Brad's thinking. Undefined, absolutely no problem. Let's find a question on undefined. Okay. That's a bit hard. These seem pretty hard. Let me just alter my wording of the question. It's taken its understanding of undefined in a specific direction, and also it's provided multiple choice, which I don't like. Okay, if this is what it's giving me, this is what it's giving me. Your question is, what would be the output of the following JavaScript code snippet? And that's going to chat, I think. Are the diddly squonks real things? Is that anything? Brad, you've received an answer from someone. That one where Winnie the Pooh lives. Okay, so it turns out that the diddly squonks are something that B&M Bandit personally created and therefore can speak with absolute authority, and that Bread Santa's not used their answer. Which has caused Albert to say, what the fuck? I'm afraid the answer I was looking for is the elusive diddly squonks are often spotted frolicking in the whimsical whisperwood. And I don't think you want to. Do you want to challenge Bing? You can challenge Bing. Yeah, it's a reality game. It's just that I actually happen to know who came up with the diddly squonks. And so therefore I know the habitat of the diddly squonks. So Brad, do you still want to challenge Bing under those conditions? Because I can fact check by scrolling up very slightly. Can we ask B&M again? What do you mean? Oh, we've got B&M's answer. Yeah, it's in the forest of the badger-hided shark. Are you challenging Bing or not, Brad? Ready? Challenge. Okay, you're challenging. Okay, so what Bing has said is the elusive diddly squonks are often spotted frolicking in the whimsical whisperwood. And my job now, as the adjudicator of this challenge, is to do my best to work out which mythical forest is said to be the natural habitat of the diddly squonks. First, I'll just Google diddly squonks to see if there's... Oh. Oh, a squonk is a thing. A squonk is a mythical creature that's reputed to live on in the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania in the United States. It's got its own Wikipedia page.
Wow.
Because everything that's on Wikipedia is real.
Usage in popular media. The song Any Major Dude Will Tell You, written by Donald Fagen and Walter Becker of Steely Dan, uses the line, "Have you ever seen a squonk's tears? Well, look at mine." But it's not a diddly squonk. Okay. And the diddly squonk only lives in B&M's mind. And that seems correct. Even just the phrase diddly squonk. Let me just check if it's ever been used. Oh, I guess putting things in quote marks doesn't work the way it used to on Google. Okay, so B&M Bandit claims they live in the badger-hided shark. And as the creator, I think I've got to go with that. So challenge failed. And that's that. Poor challenge. Please check Hansard. For what? The Hansard is relevant to this. And then we're going back to the bingo card until someone gets... I don't know. Until we get tired of it, I guess. Katie, we are back to the bingo card. Which of these... Let me just remove this JavaScript. Which of these topics takes your fancy?
Peelings of mayonnaise.
Peelings of mayonnaise.
I mean, I'm assuming that I basically have to go in a vertical direction now.
You could do whatever you like. You still get points for correct answers.
I mean, to get myself a line.
I
Not
mean,
that I'm competitive or anything.
Given that you never have to give an answer to the question that you receive, there's no point thinking about what your knowledge base is when picking a topic.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know much about mayonnaise other than that I don't like it anyway, and I definitely don't know very much about JavaScript.
The JavaScript one was tricky. Undefined seems to lead it in a coding direction, which does make sense now that I think about it. Okay, your question is... How much are mayonnaise sales yearly in the US? And do you know what? I'll accept that to the nearest. I'll accept it to the nearest 500 million.
I'm going to go very meta on this and say undefined.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But actually, it is the function that was outlined, which is sanfoundry _JavaScript MCQ, which is defined as the variable text2 in the second line of the code, I'm afraid. Not a gettable question, I think, by anyone who doesn't know JavaScript.
I do not know JavaScript.
Oh, neither do I. I just know what Bing says here. Dell, which of these topics takes your fancy?
Can I have the early dating game show hosted by Chris Tarrant, Man Oh Man, please?
You absolutely can. First, let me get rid of this bingo card. The subject of the dating game show, Man Oh Man.
Oh, Sean.
Hello.
I think the rule costs might need to be updated for Katie in the chat, maybe.
You're absolutely right. Thank you for catching me on that. Thank you for keeping me honest. Bought a rule. Bought a rule.
Thank you.
Your question is... What was the catchphrase used by the host when eliminating contestants? Red Coat has asked, is Rule 2 in play? Yes, I've actually automated Rule 2. So whenever I click the Add Points button, it automatically activates the Subtract Points button from the relevant contestant. So Dale, your question is, what was the catchphrase used by the host when eliminating contestants?
My mind, I know it's not helpful in this case, but my mind has just gone back to Man Oh Man and how strange that show was. And it's quite distractingly surreal. But my answer is $800 million.
I'm afraid it is 1.8 billion annually of mayonnaise sales in the United States. Let's do our final question before we go to another rules round. Bread Santa, which of these topics takes your fancy? Alchemy, absolutely no problem. Alchemy it is. We've lived with Rule 1 for a very long time, and unless chat wants to get rid of it, we're going to live with it for the entire game. Do you know what? It's not as hard as it first seems, I think.
It's making sense to me now.
Okay, Bread Santa, your question is, what are the 3 essentials in alchemy? And I'll accept 2 out of 3. Anyone in chat able to help Bread Santa? They are your representative, but they don't have to do all the heavy lifting on their own. Brady, you may be on your own here. Your guess for what are the 3 essentials in alchemy is just goodbye. You think that would be considered a catchphrase? I'm afraid, Brent Santa, it's not goodbye. It is take him away, girls. Okay, let us pause for another rules round. See if we can shake up the show a little more. Chat, as the extremely trailing behind contestant, would you like a new rule? Keep in mind, you are the only person that can make rules at the moment, according to Rule 3. I'm worried now, thinking ahead, that chat is going to change the victory conditions to lowest points wins. And then there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Yeah, they were locked in.
Stop giving them ideas.
I shouldn't have said it, should I? But I need to counter it. As host, I need to not allow that to happen. I need to not allow that to happen. That means the last half hour of gameplay is utterly pointless. How do I stop that happening?
Poll closed.
Could we institute new coin tosses?
I need to have a big think. I can't allow this. It's so boring. It's so boring. I need to find a way out. What a dismal end to a fun evening. We'll see. Let's see what Bread Santa says. I'm just going to try and head him off.
Would there be any way that the players could deliberately engineer deductions based on rule 2?
Yeah, is there any way to misinterpret the rules?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got something up my sleeve. Something which should make creating the rule lowest score wins a lot less appealing. But we'll see. It's all on Bread Santa now. What is the mole going to say? Well, bringing back points for cats won't help you if the victory conditions are inverted. Brad? The eyes of the world are on you. Fine. Okay, slot 2. Winner determined by who can say fish the most in a 10-second span at the end of the game. You panicked.
He was
Clearly.
keeping count.
How can I possibly keep count?
Also, we're up against the whole of chat. That means chat is going to win.
Who can say fish?
So
It's
We have
typing
to
it out
ensure
and
this is
saying.
sporting. We can't ensure. Obviously,
That's how quickly we fall over our own tongues, doesn't it?
if I put on a slow mode, are you familiar what slow mode is?
No.
Slow mode in a Twitch chat is an interval. Is it per person? I think it's like if it's slow mode is set to 5 seconds, as an individual, you cannot speak without waiting a 5-second interval between each time you speak.
Which means that the chat can only say it twice per person in the 10-second interval. Maximum.
Yes, but then how? Hang on, let me ask Bing. Oh, boss Boobs Garfield has just donated £1, saying because of climate change, rule slot 3 is permanently destroyed.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Ged Station, for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Hello, Ged. What were you up to? How did it go? How were you feeling? Thank you for the raid, and of course, a shout out to Ged Station. We're just playing Sean Morley's normal game at the moment, a kind of deconstructive quiz show. Here are currently the rules that we're playing with. Players receive points only for answering the previous question correctly. The winner is determined by who can say fish the most in a 10-second span at the end of the game. And we're currently discussing rule number 2 because I think it removes... It sort of destroys the point of answering any further questions, given that none of those points matter and only saying fish at the end matters. And rule number 3 has just been destroyed by Boobs Garfield. And yeah, anyway, thanks for the raid. If you want to stick around and see this, you can. Ged, if you need to go and do something else, you are obviously more than welcome to vanish. So Boobs Garfield, rule slot 3 destroyed. And permanently, does that mean for the rest of the season? Like, it did say permanently, not for the rest of the game, but permanently. So will only be 2 rules available. Okay, so rule slot 3 has been destroyed.
You just have to get someone to donate £2, £1, 1p even, for removing the word permanently. And replacing it with full game.
Oh yeah, it's a rule, isn't it? So yeah, it would be overturned quite easily. But would it return blank or would it return with the same thing in? Do you know what? While it's gone, Dell, as the second most point owning player, do you want to make a rule?
Yes, please.
Okay, tell me the slot first.
Number 2.
Unfortunately, you can't overwrite 3
Oh.
because it's been destroyed, right? So I can't write anything in it.
Can I overrule number 2?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to put in number 2?
Good question. My main priority is to get rid of the fish off.
Well,
but
better
then
say
again,
it quickly because someone could donate at any second and it'll
that's
bring
good.
rule slot 3 back in.
God, it's pressure. Okay, I'm going to get rid of... Yeah, roll 2. I panicked then when I saw something go across the screen. Roll 2. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And replace it with the player...
Fish.
let me think. I'm going to go for monosyllabic answers only.
That's going to be difficult for the 3 essentials of alchemy.
Oh, damn it, yeah. Can I retract that? Is it like chess when you don't take your hand off the piece? Like you can still move.
No, it's not like chess.
I've done it. Bread Santa, I know how you feel. I panicked. I think I did what Bread Santa did.
And Katie, would you like a rule?
Yes.
What slot?
I'm gonna get Dell out of his sticky hole and overwrite number 2.
Okay, yep, sure.
So this is the one that I was trying to come up with. I don't have perfect wording yet, but a player can pass at any time back to the previous player, including chat. However, if they choose to do so, they must share the points. So the way it's working in my head is if I decide I don't know an answer, I can make someone else answer, like the reverse card in Uno.
Do you decide who answers, or you're passing it to the...
Because I'm assuming you can't do half points.
I can do half points. No, it'll be easy. It'll be easy for me to not, actually. I can, but if there's no pressing need...
1 point each, then. Because I'm doing the other person a favour by giving them an opportunity to get more points, right?
Yeah, and they'd be inclined to get it right. Okay, in that case, everyone has got a chance to make a rule. That ends the rules phase. And while I don't think it's possible in the 20 minutes we have remaining, would people like an attempt to try and finish their bingo line?
Yeah.
Great. Then starting with
that's the best option for using the rule I've just created, isn't it?
Exactly. So chat, as you're tailing in the lead, represented by Bread Santa, which of these topics appeals to you? Josie is requesting Michael Owen quotes.
It's got to be good, hasn't it, surely?
Okay, Michael Owen quotes.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Of
Do we
course.
restart at the end of each rules thing? Because I don't think I've answered a question about alchemy yet. I think I know the answer.
I reversed the play order.
Ah.
So if we'd been continually going left to right, you would have done. But since we paused for rules, I reversed the play order.
Fair.
I love that no one wants to touch rule 1. Everyone's just happy with that.
It's suitable chaos.
This is the first time we've had a rule that was created by the previous contestants that has just been in play for the entirety of the following game.
I feel like it's in that sweet spot between challenging enough and not quite brain-meltingly bad enough to kind of want to get rid of it. There's something comforting about it, I think.
I think Bing has gotten confused because it is saying... I asked it for questions on Michael Owen's quotes. The first question is, which club did Michael Owen begin his senior career with? But the second question is, who was the original host of the show Man Oh Man? So I think it's I need to refresh the browser window so it doesn't think we're part of a continuous conversation. Certainly. Let's dive into the world of Michael Owen's memorable quotes. Here are some medium difficulty quiz questions based on his amusing and sometimes baffling statements. So, chat, your question is... Michael Owen once said, "It's a good run, but it's a poor run," if you know what I mean. What was he referring to? And that goes to chat representative Bread Center. Bread Center is answering the question, Michael Owen once said, "It's a good run, but it's a poor run," if you know what I mean. What was he referring to with mercury, sulfur, and salt? That is correct. Congratulations, chat. That gets you a point. And it also is going to give you a tick for Michael Owen quotes. So, chat, you are the blue tick, and you have Michael Owen quotes. Dell, which of these takes your fancy? And remember, rule 2 is in play.
Could you bring the grid back, please?
Oh, of course, sorry.
Oh, thank you. Let's just... I feel like what a dog is. Yeah, I'd like to select what a dog is, please.
Yeah, you want what a dog is?
Mm-hmm.
That's no problem. I mean, it's worded funnily, but it will just give you questions on dogs. Because when you write out a question to the AI, you just have to say, "Can you write me a question on the subject of what a dog is?"
Yeah.
These are very easy questions.
It's a bit of a tactical blunder with Rule 1 still in operation, I think.
Oh, okay. Here's one that I don't know the answer to. Just to show you how easy they are. I'm not trying to make the quiz more difficult, but they are like, what breed of dog did Cruella de Vil want to make a coat from? And I
know that one.
Yeah, I just think maybe that's more like giving away a point. Okay, Dell Frickles, your question is, which dog breed has a black tongue?
Someone caught offside.
I'm afraid the answer I was looking for is, we're not sure, but if you figure it out, let us know. Laughing emoji.
Ah.
You
Can I challenge that, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Okay, let me look into it. I'm going to just search the quote, "It's a good run, but it's a poor run, if you know what I mean," into Google and try to get more context. Michael Owen. Okay, I'm just going to a quick read from the website planetfootball.com. Hopefully that'll just shed a little more context onto why he said it's a good run, but it's a poor run, if you know what I mean. No, they're just listing quotes that have no known meaning and is just utterly inane.
I'm just really convinced of the plausibility of my answer because that does make some kind of sense.
Would you like to hear more Michael Owen quotes? Because I do now have quite a wealth at my fingertips.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, why not?
Well, this is according to Planet Football. Here are his 17 brilliantly banal quotes from Michael Owen when he's not selling a book. Starting at number 1, if there's a bit of rain about, it makes the surface wet. What a feeling it is to be a manager and bring someone on. Footballers these days often have to use their feet. I love these players with 2 feet. Blackburn have got 2 strikers and they're both playing up front. Whichever team scores more goals usually wins. When asked what he listens to in the car by The Guardian, Michael Owen responded, I don't listen to anything. I don't know why, but the car's always been my own quiet space. When the kids are in the car, they always want a song on, but I'm just happy with my thoughts. Number 8, when they don't score, they hardly ever win. 9, it's a good run, but it's a poor run, if you know what I mean. 10, when asked what was the last film he saw by The Guardian, he said, it's very boring, but I don't watch films. I think I've seen 5 in my life. I just can't get into them. I do try. Someone will say, watch this film, it's great, and I'll try. But after half an hour, 40 minutes, I can't take it any longer. That's enough. I can't make it through 17.
I feel like that establishes a precedent with his quotes that with most of them you can kind of see what he is getting at. So I just refuse to accept the answer that Bing's providing in terms of, I don't know.
If I can find... It used to be that if you put something in quote marks in Google, it would have to show you that entire phrase. That no longer seems to be the case. Do you know what I could do? I could put it in Google Trends. No, Google Trends won't tell me the first time this appeared. I want to know the first time this appeared on the internet, which would probably have a greater connection to when he said it and why he said it.
Yeah, I feel like it would be maybe like a tweet with the video, maybe, or...
I'll just ask Bing directly, when did Michael Owen say the following quote?
Because an offside run could be considered a good and bad run at the same time, because it's...
Bing is suggesting that Michael Owen was referring to a sequence of play that seemed promising, but ultimately lacked effectiveness.
Oh. I was hoping for a reference to... Yeah. That's fair enough then.
Yeah, I'm afraid...
I feel like I fought up bravely on this hill, but...
Yeah, and there's nothing on this hill. The hill is utterly barren.
I've picked a bad one to die on, haven't I?
And die you have. Katie, do any of these topics take your fancy?
Trendy Trek.
Trendy Trek. Okay, generating a question.
I'm enjoying Hondo Zed's assessment of my challenge. I think that's fair.
Katie, your question is, what is the real name of the YouTuber known as Trek Trendy?
So, I'm sure I've heard of more than one kind of dog that has a black tongue.
Okay.
So I feel like I might be going to challenge Bing if it's wrong, or if it
Okay.
says that I'm wrong. I'm going to go with Sharpays because I know that that is one of the most common ones. Challenge.
So the answer I have...
Because the wording of the question was which dog, but I can think of several dogs. So it might tell me that I'm wrong, even though that my answer is in the top 4 or 5 or something.
So the answer it gives is Chow Chow. And what is the answer you're providing?
I'm providing Sharpei.
How do I spell that?
I don't know.
Okay. Dog Sharpei.
I'm getting commentary from the background that it is SHARPEIS,
Yeah.
and also that apparently Chow Chows have a bleeping blue tongue.
Yes, I'm just looking
I'm challenging
at...
Bing.
Well, hang on. First of all,
Bing
let's...
says Chow Chow, then I'm challenging Bing because apparently it's blue, not black.
Well, let us first examine the tongue colour of the Sharpei. Okay. So this is a Sharpei.
You thought this game was going to go.
This is a normal game. So this is the Sharpei, a Cantonese husky. I don't... What do we count as a black tongue? Would we say this is a black tongue here?
I mean, I can see a little bit of black there.
Yeah, in
But
the
I've
shadow,
definitely
deep in the
seen
mouth.
with blacker tongues than that.
Okay, hang on.
That's a black tongue.
This is quite a black tongue. This is quite a black tongue. And actually, quite a lovely looking sleepy dog as well. That needs to be appreciated.
Is
Now,
it
let me
grey?
just-
Is it
Now let's compare this to a Chow Chow's tongue.
That's definitely blue.
Hmm.
That's navy blue. That's like fountain penning blue.
It's true. I'm just going to bring in another tongue in for comparison.
Oh, that's such a heckin' fluffer.
There is one that looks extraordinarily black. This one seems to be a photographer that's obsessed with the idea that they have black tongues.
That's
However,
the blackest, isn't it? Yeah.
when you zoom in, I don't know. There's a bit of Photoshop on that one. I don't like that one. It looks a bit too. It looks a bit too fake. In the end, I think there are Sharpeis that have as black a tongue as Chow Chows, and I'm going to say that is a correct challenge, and I will give Katie 2 points, 1 for the challenge, 1 for being correct. Not that you need it, to be perfectly honest, because you are head and shoulders above the competition.
I might just stop earning points at this point, just so I can go nice.
So that is an X on Trendy Trek. I don't think there's going to be an X made in this game because it is not enough time. However, we will do one final rules phase, then...
Can I have my point? No.
Of course, of course.
Because I'm childish and entertained by these things.
Oh, yes, I see. Oh, apologies to chat who had their points deducted. That link should not still exist. Let me return chat's points so they can be -10. Okay, so we'll do one final rules phase and then a couple of all plays. Are donation-based rules bound to the rules phase? No, they can arrive at any possible time. Chat, you are in the anti-lead, whatever that's called. You're losing. Would you like... Hello, Lucy Lefty. Would you like a rule? There's going to be a couple more questions after this, and then it will wrap up. So this is the final rules phase. Okay. Where would you like it, and what would you like? Red Tatter's going to panic. There's almost certainly something clever that chat could do, but I don't know what it is. Slot 2, all points reset to 0. Okay, a big play. All points reset to 0. Okay, I'm just going to do that then. Okay, and well, Katie, Dell Frickles, you're basically neck and neck. So, what? Would either of you want a rule?
Can I ask if rule 2 is if we get rid of rule 2 at this stage, would points revert to where they were before, or has that rule been enacted and now it can
You
go?
would have to no, it wouldn't automatically. You would have to make a rule, perhaps, to say that they revert.
Okay. I don't particularly want to do that.
Yeah, because you were in the middle, right?
So it's worked out pretty well.
Not exactly.
Okay, can I implement a new rule, please? Can I implement a new rule, please?
Yeah, where would you like it?
Rule 2, please.
Okay.
A player can only win normal game if they are holding a Game Boy in each hand. At least one Game Boy in each hand.
Do you own 2 Game Boys?
Maybe.
Okay. You are aware that Katie gets to make a rule after this, right?
Katie, did you have a rule you want to go for me? Maybe.
I do now.
What slot would you like it to go in?
Rule 2.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
A player can only win the normal game. They're holding a moderately sized goose.
But it doesn't, just to be clear, it doesn't mean that you do win. It just means you only can win, right?
Exactly.
So does that mean, let's say chat has 3 points, but they don't have a goose. And Dell has 2 points, but they don't
That
have a
means
goose.
there are no winners.
Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting to me. Okay,
Think of that, but I'll accept it.
that's exactly the eventuality I was interested to find out.
Am I okay to just go and quickly grab an item that might help me?
Yeah.
Thank you. It won't take long. Just give me 1 second.
Didn't expect Dell to have a moderately sized goose, did you? What's... Oh,
So we had no pets. This is not fair.
are you willing to talk more about the item you just went to go and get?
Yeah, I have. It's a bit of a reach, but does that count as a moderate goose? moderately sized goose.
I would like to see you trying to moderate that goose.
But it's not moderate goose, is it? It's a moderately sized goose.
Yeah, and that is a moderately sized goose.
Yeah. If anyone in chat does have a moderately sized goose, I just need the smallest amount of evidence. Oh, sorry. I had several DMs, but they're about dogs' tongues, and I'm afraid we've moved on. Okay, let's do a couple of final questions, just to see who ends up in the lead. I guess we'll make these some all plays.
This is holding these geese.
Oh, they've got gooses.
I need an image that shows that you own the goose. If you're sending me to listings.
I wish to challenge Josie's statement. It is not a moderately sized. Oh wait, no. Shit. Josie is actually holding the same size goose that I am.
Josie, can you provide some proof? Oh, Christmas Kropotkin's just donated £2. Fully automated communism has arrived. Universal basic income is deployed to those not holding goose.
Man.
But what does that mean? Do they mean they get a goose? Yeah, I guess it means they get a goose, right? If Universal, if we're talking about, right?
Does it not just? Is it not just trying to trick people into not holding their gooses by enticing them with the universal basic income, which is tempting?
Ah, that's clever.
But in a world where only the geese matter, then the universal basic income has to be for geese, right?
I don't think necessarily. I think it's for whatever whichever fowl you're most interested in, maybe. Or
where did that goose come from?
It's just arrived. Christmas Kropotkin brought it round. Although I do have a DM. Okay, so this comes from Bread Santa. I'm receiving a lot of DMs. Okay, okay, I've just got a lot of DMs in a very short space of time. I just need to download them and then I can drag them in. That was literally all within seconds of each other. Okay.
Down. There we go.
Okay, so geese are on strike, -1 point for crossing a picket line. That comes from Goose. I will implement. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so I'll put that rule in. Geese are on strike, -1 point for crossing picket. Now, let me see who gets a deduction from that. I can see that Katie is holding a goose, so that's -1 point. I will accept that as a moderately sized goose. Dell, thank you for showing it to us. -1 point. And then for chat, well, I can see that they've got a goose there. Now let's just see what I've just been sent.
Having given Josie the other goose, I can vouch if Josie is holding the goose, then I can vouch that it is moderately sized.
This is Bread Santa holding a goose, so that's -1 point. This is Buzz Josie holding a goose, so that is -1 point. This is Lucy Lefty holding a goose.
A duck. That's a duck.
It is a duck, isn't it? It is a duck. Okay, not a scab.
Wait, why am I on the side of chat here?
And I'm not missing.
Anyway, that's not a goose.
Is a duck a member of is it an affiliated bird to the geese so that it can strike if it wants to?
Pencil sharpener.
It isn't
This is
legally obliged.
Josie Hypatia holding a goose.
Is that a goose or is that
It's a real goose.
cat with a goose on its head?
Who knows?
Fool me.
And then, last but not least, a paparazzo has managed to find the Democratic representative of the chat holding a goose. So I'm afraid further scabbing has occurred. And with that, we go into the final round. So what is the topic going to be? It really is just between Katie and Dell at this point. Who plus bags for life? This will be the first of our 2 final questions. Oh, Anonymous has just donated £4. Let me just pause play for a second here. A vortex into future episodes opens between the players. Objects, points, and peoples can be deposited into it and will appear on a random future episode. And that was for £4. Okay, let me just prepare this vortex, which will appear of its own accord. Okay, a vortex has appeared. Would you like to deposit anything into it, including points or just anything you could conceive of going into it?
Can I put a Tunnix caramel in there, please?
Yeah, do you have one?
Yes. Shall I place it in the...
Yeah, if you can, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this Tunnix caramel is going into the void.
I have a panda.
Okay, that's stuffed panda.
It's from IKEA if it helps. It's an IKEA.
Nice.
Yeah, that does help, yeah. This stuffed panda is
Yeah,
going
that
into
one.
the void.
That's a panda.
These will appear in a future episode. It's just something for me to juggle. I'm going to write these down on a note so I can remember. So a panda's gone in the void. Tunnix caramel bar's gone into the void. Anyone want to throw into the void that might help? Oh, Albrot has deposited minus 900 points. Yep, let me just...
Can we put my 69 points in from earlier?
Well, they're gone. I could put in 69 points from you, but it would put you on minus 70.
All right. I can't win anyway, because...
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I potentially could win, but I'm going to deposit minus 69 points just for the hilarity.
Okay. 69 points. Chat is...
Want them all to go to the same person?
Yep.
At random. At complete random.
At random. So at some point in the future of this season of normal game, someone randomly, a vortex will open and they get 69 points from you.
And a panda. And a Tunnix caramel wafer.
No.
Yeah.
The panda
Just
can go to them as
raining down
well.
on them.
I think the panda can be holding the points, but I think Dell's Tunnix caramel bar should have a completely different
Snack
story.
for the panda, isn't it?
True.
It's there if anyone needs it, I think.
Yeah, it's useful.
Yeah.
Okay, Bread Santa. There's some people in the chat talking about depositing some of chat's points. I can do, but as the Democratic representative, you need to sign off on it. So, Bread, if you're putting something in, please can you say what it is? Happy to go with that? Okay. With what? Sorry, with what? What Albrot says. Okay. So we're putting in. So are you putting in minus points, or are you just depositing in 900 points? Oh, thank you, the Gongwei. Good to have you with us. Okay, you're depositing minus. So does that mean when that arrives, that person loses 900 points? No, it's not, because if you're going into debt, you're taking points. You're going into debts, you're giving points. So 900 points. Okay. You're saying yes. No, you can't give away minus points. It's like points are money, and you're going further into debt to put 9. No, you can't lose minus 900 points. That doesn't. Why not? It doesn't make any sense. That, by your logic, in real life, I could write in a checkbook, I'm going to send someone minus £1,000, and then when they cash it, I get money. Right? That doesn't work, does it? Yes. Why is it saying yes? You can't possibly use that. That's called a bill. Yeah, you're okay. Good arguing. Minus 900 points go in. Hang on, no, because then you're saying you have 895 points. So Katie and Dell, I don't think you want that to go through, right?
No, I was kind of waiting to see what your decision would be, because if, I mean, I'd start throwing negative points in there as well. I guess that would create a precedent where we could all just start throwing negative points in the vortex. I feel, yeah, and I don't know, it makes me think of that alchemy question earlier. You need 3 things for alchemy. You can't just magic it out of nothing, you know?
Okay, Katie and Dell, together, do you think I should allow this to go through?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think it's too powerful. I don't think you can send minus quantities of points into the future. I don't know how to explain it, the Gongwei. Here are currently the rules that are in play, and players are trying to send points into the future to a future game, and I'm trying to determine if people can send minus points into the future, which will then land on a player in a future game and take off 900 of their points. Keep in mind, you get 1 point for 1 correct answer, so this would just obliterate an individual for no reason, randomly. It seems to be extremely cruel.
And also, how can you take things from out of the vortex? Because surely you can't. Surely you can
I
just
think
send
the vortex
things
will appear randomly at another time. Okay, and I'll write down Mighty Fighty Shushbug's penis, but I don't. You know, it might go so far into the future we literally never see it again. Okay, how will I represent Mighty Fighty Shushbug's penis? Just this goose, I think. So that's gone in. I don't know what that's going to do. Oh, thank you, Anonymous, for this donation. Anonymous donated £5. The Vortex no longer accepts points, but will accept players throwing their right to win this episode into it. Players who throw rights into this Vortex may rename Maul for 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Does anyone want to throw their right to win the game in for the luxury of renaming me for 2 weeks?
It's tempting. As tempting as it is, I don't think I'm going to go for that.
Okay, Bread Santa's thrown chats in. Katie, do you want to throw your right to win in?
No.
Okay. Okay, and
I'm
what?
already on minus 70 anyway. But then I'd have to think of a name for you, so.
That's fair. Okay, let's just do one question. The last question, I'll just do one final question because everything got complicated and we used a lot of time. Can you use Broth for the name? Sure, if that's what you want. Broth name me afterwards. Just let's do this final question and then broth me afterwards. So to everyone, who benefits from using a sturdy bag for life? And that's an all play. Whoever gets closest.
I'm gonna give my answer as it feels wrong to do it, but Will Davis,
Why does that feel wrong?
because I just read it from Bread Santa's.
And you trust Bread Santa, do you?
Yeah, I think I do. Or more to the point, I haven't got a fun, like an answer or a guess, a plausible guess for that last question. I was gonna come up with a brand new name, so I think it's more likely to be Will Davis.
That's fair. Katie, do you have an answer?
I can't remember what the question was.
That's fair. The question is, who benefits from using a sturdy bag for life?
Oh, so we're not on the previous question correctly thing.
Oh, no, we are,
I
yeah.
can't remember what that question was.
That's fair. Well, there's an environmental clue as to what the answer could be.
I'm going to go with Will Davis.
Oh, that's very wise. And you are correct to do so, because the answer is indeed Will Davis runs the YouTube channel Trek Trendy. Why not check it out if you get the chance? And with a whopping 0 points, I declare Dell Frickles the winner of Sean Morley's Normal Game episode 11. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It's surreal. I've been planning and practicing for a long time, so I feel like all the hard work's really paid off. All the conditioning and the drills, the early wake ups. So yeah, it's a really good feeling. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
You have survived the flotsam and the jetsam. I think a fiddly and complicated one, but not an utterly unhinged one tonight. But there was drama, and it could have gone any way. Katie, I'm afraid you didn't make it to the finish line tonight, but you did very valiantly throw 69 points into the future for some poor
I
soul.
finished on minus 69 points.
Exactly. You finished minus 69 and clutching a goose, and that is how a lot of people would like to go.
Can I
Katie,
just... Can I add one final statement? Josie was asking me when we were in Krakow together what the purpose of a goose is. I think I've answered.
Now we finally know. A goose is to be thrown into a vortex for posterity.
And to help you win a game of the normal game.
You won the normal game. To chat, you now have the opportunity to rename me for 2 weeks. And for Dell, as the winner, you are granted a platform to talk about whatever you like. If you have anything to promote in the world, you are welcome to. Otherwise, all I ask of you is a rule for next week's normal game.
Just like to thank you for this. It's been really, really, really brilliant, really fun. Thanks for having me. And I haven't really got anything of myself to promote, but it occurred to me that my mate's a really, really cool artist. It's called Andy Turner, and he's on Instagram, Andy Turner Art, all one word. If you like kind of like cool portraits of cats and pets and stuff, so I'd recommend you checking that out. That's the only thing I can think to plug. I've got nothing of my own. In terms of a rule for the next, I think I might reintroduce my monosyllabic answers only starting rule.
Okay. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, leave something horrible for the next lot of contestants to take up.
Sadly, I have been renamed Pupa 3 Cum Dilk Arse Pal. So I guess I'll just... Can someone save that somewhere in the Discord? I'll accept Pupa.
Thank you, Pupa.
Katie, before we close up shop, do you have anything you want to promote or shine some eyeballs
I'm really
on?
sorry, I do have to leave. So I am just leaving you with this goose and this panda and shuffling away.
No problem. Thank you very much for participating in episode 11 of Normal Game.
Thank you.
And thank you to Dell Frickles for coming and being victorious in the ever-changing landscape of Normal Game.
Thank you, Pupa.
Congratulations all round. We all fought valiantly. And of course, who benefits for using a sturdy bag for life? Why, of course, everyone benefits. Shoppers reduce plastic waste, and the environment benefits from fewer disposable bags. Good night. Do you want to say a quick good night?
Good night.
Good night. But there was drama, and it could have gone anyway. Katie, I'm afraid you didn't make it to the finish line tonight, but you did very valiantly throw 69 points into the future for some poor
I
soul.
finished on minus 69 points.
Exactly.